All right, so I was done recording for today. I usually record in the mornings on Monday or Sunday night. But per usual, something comes out right after I get done recording, so here I am once again. It seems that Logan Paul has responded to Canelo Alvarez calling him disrespectful for, I'm assuming, taking or being allowed to fight with Floyd Mayweather. And yeah, I thought, why not go in and take a stab at it? Let's see what Logan has to say for himself, because I think his general idea on the fight with Floyd is that he actually deserves to be there. But let's watch this thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, this is Mike Malazlax, channel Night Shift Gaming. Let's see what these two got to say for themselves.
Bro, do you see what Canelo said?
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
I think he's the guy who got caught using steroids twice.
No!
Whoa! 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 Whoa, dude. I did not expect Logan Paul to come out of the gates swinging for the bleachers at Canelo Alvarez. Holy shit. My man, first round, just letting it fly. Logan is not known for letting hands go, but my goodness, he is coming out swinging here. Calling Canelo out for the tainted beef? Hey, listen, if you're going to come back to the accusations of being disrespectful by hitting the freaking red button and saying Canelo Alvarez took steroids twice, that's a body bag. That's a 10-8 round. This is the only time you'll ever see Logan 10-8 round Canelo Alvarez. That might be a first round KO.
I was just thinking about it. And I was like did he use the word disrespectful?
Bro,
yeah, that's what I heard too.
All right,
I heard that Wasabi was
pisses me off, bro.
himself for
Like,
not
Jake
being
and I are
spicy
putting in the
enough.
work, like the actual work. We're outworking professional boxers. Like,
Ooh, okay. Hold on a second. We've hit our first pause of the video. Logan's already talking out of his ass. Here we go. Listen up. By the way, who the fuck is this other... who is this voice? What is happening here?
Jake and I are putting in the work, like the actual work. We're outworking professional boxers. Like, we're
See, no. Logan has now decided that he is working as hard or harder than professional boxers, him and Jake. And this is why I would understand someone calling what Logan's doing disrespectful. He doesn't understand this, or he doesn't care to admit it. 3 years of work, which is, I'm assuming, what Logan has put into the sport, 2 or 3 years, is not equivalent anywhere close to someone dedicating their entire lives. From day one, from the time you're walking around 3, 4, 5 years old, you're in a boxing gym. You're doing it every single day, 15, 20 years, 20 plus years sometimes. In no reality are him and Jake outworking professional boxers in boxing. Yes, in YouTube, they've outworked a lot of creators. I'm sure. They did crazy stuff in YouTube. But 3 years of boxing doesn't allow you to say that you're outworking professional boxers, because what you're doing, not only are they doing and probably doing more because they don't have the 4 or 5 side businesses, but also they've been doing it for years before you even started YouTube, and possibly even before you were born. So I don't want to hear this, I'm working harder than professional boxers. Jake and I are working harder than professional boxers. You're not. It's a flat out lie. You're talking out of your ass. Logan trying to spin a narrative to make people believe that he's worked as hard as professional athletes have at their craft. No, sir. Does not work like that in 3 years of training. It doesn't.
How long have you been training for now?
3 years, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at Logan's face here. Look at this face. Look at how, like, annoyed he is with that question. As if, like, 3 years is a mountain, is a lifetime of training. Like, 3 years, like... Why am I even being questioned as to why I deserve this fight? I've been training 3 years. You want to talk about hard work, dedication? Someone dedicating their entire lives, not their side gig, not for content, to going out there and getting punched in the face and trying to figure out a way to climb through the competitive rankings. After you lose your first and only pro fight, you now deserve a shot at Floyd Mayweather. Yes, this is an exhibition. Yes, he's retired, but this sets precedent, guys. And if you don't see that, you're either short-sighted or you don't want to see it.
I think, like, once you guys put together like a streak of like training, victory, like that kind of stuff, I think people will shut the fuck up.
Okay, but what about when you have no victors like me?
What happens when you don't have any pro victories and you're trying to attempt to fight the greatest pro in that sport? People come out, they say you don't deserve it, they call you disrespectful, and they shit on the whole thing. My job's done. Logan answered his own question. That's the end of the video, guys. I appreciate you guys coming by. I will see you next time. Easy work. No, I think Logan's joking a little bit with that answer. People think it's disrespectful to other fighters that have sacrificed their entire lives, put things on hold, trained every single day for, like I said, 10 to 15 to 20 years. While you train for a couple of years, you fought a YouTuber and you hopped the line. It's a simple answer.
I love Canelo. It's Canelo Alvarez. He's the greatest boxer in the sport right now.
Yep,
Just
I can agree with that.
Attempting to do something and put on a great show and putting in the work.
Oh, no. Don't do this, Logan. Don't do this. Please don't do this.
Just because we're attempting to do something and put on a great show and putting in the work doesn't mean you have to shit on us.
Oh, God. That surprises me a little bit, honestly. I thought Logan had some conviction behind his stuff, and now here comes the victim card. He's pulling it out of the back pocket. He's starting to understand that people are not liking this because there's no competitive architecture. There's no reason for this to go down other than just a cash grab from both guys. And now we get the victim card. One, Canelo Alvarez isn't shitting on you, Logan. He's not shitting on Logan Paul, the person. He's shitting on the idea that someone, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, fucking Mike Malinja, his porn star girlfriend, anybody can come into boxing without any sort of sacrifice, without any sort of longevity in the competitive rankings in the sport against other killers. Logan sees this as entertainment, as content, as putting on a show for the fans. And this is an exhibition, so fair play. But there are guys that do this for a living. They get beat up on a Saturday and got to be at work on Monday morning doing whatever the hell. Going to the UPS, going to serve at a restaurant, finding a way to answer calls in a call center. That's real life. You want to talk about hard work. You want to talk about somebody that's dedicated. It's not 3 years as a side gig to your YouTube. It's someone that has put blood, sweat, and tears into this one single venture for their entire lives, while sometimes having kids, sometimes having another job. But still, the one thing that keeps them going is fighting to be one of the greatest. You, on the other hand, are playing the victim card because you are going to fight for millions of dollars, and people aren't happy with it because you're fighting Floyd Mayweather after losing your one and only professional fight to another YouTuber.
I guess let me flip it on you really quick. Say there was like a new kid on YouTube, bro. Right?
Oh my God.
And
Mike's gonna make a YouTube comparison.
He had been shooting for 3 years. He had 4,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Okay, first off, it's around 3,000 at the time of this video. Now, I know, Mike, you're trying to make the subtle call out to Logan and tell him that I'm here and that, you know, we're on our way up there. I get that. You could at least get it right if you're going to call me out on your Night Shift Gaming channel, Mike Malinja. It's 3,000 at the moment. Now, by the time this video goes out, it could be 4. And you might as well just tell him it's the W.A.D.E concept on YouTube. Make sure you guys like and subscribe.
But, like, he had made it somewhere else in a big way. Like, he had some sort of name, but he had 4,000 subscribers on YouTube.
This is a terrible comparison. Doesn't make any sense.
I'm a better YouTuber than you.
I think this is a faulty comparison.
Okay.
All right, so fair play. Logan shoots this comparison down straight off the rip, and that's the only way to respond to this. You're talking about the growth of a YouTube channel, which can happen, I don't want to say overnight, but it kind of can happen overnight, versus a person trying to make their way from a rookie to a champion in a competitive sport is not the same thing. Mike Malaysia should know that. He should know that. His channel grew exponentially because of, well, Logan Paul and his porn star girlfriend. But he should understand that that is the worst comparison because YouTube channels can grow in a matter of weeks. Mine has grown in a matter of a month, and it hadn't done anything for 3 years. I'm a good comparison of that. But you guys get what I'm saying. This is not anywhere close to the right comparison. Logan's right for shooting it down.
If I was coming in here, showing up on fight day, having not gone through training camp, and like really just doing it as a cash grab, yeah, that seems pretty disrespectful to me.
Right.
But when I'm out jogging alone on the street for 8 miles every single night,
He doesn't get it.
and waking up,
He does not get it.
and boxing in the morning, and pushing my muscles to a degree and my body to a degree that it's never been before, eating only healthy foods, going to sleep by 10 p.m., going to the hyperbaric.
He does not get it.
during the day,
Not at all.
sports rehab, sitting in ice baths, like pushing my body and my mind to places that they've never been, that most humans will never reach that level. Like, it is disrespectful to me when a GOAT, a person who I look up to, like Canelo, says I'm disrespecting the sport just because he doesn't understand the dynamic of Floyd's business.
We just listened to an absolute shit sandwich of complete self-denial. And the reality is Logan genuinely thinks that his 3 years of, what did he say, waking up at 9 a.m., going on 8-mile runs, Eating great and going to hyperbaric chambers must be nice. Not all of us can afford the luxuries of high-dollar training and fitness. And I guarantee you that other fighters that didn't have that same recovery method, they didn't have the money to go spend on hyperbaric chambers and sports therapy, are still getting up before 9 a.m. and going on their run. You want to know what's disrespectful to the sport? This guy actually believes that everything he's done in the last 3 years is deserving of a fight with Floyd Mayweather because he worked hard. How about this comment section? Logan's been running 8 miles a day. Listen, fair play. That's a long way to go. But pro fighters, this is commonplace. Pro boxers will run a mile for every single round that they're supposed to fight in their upcoming fight. That means they either go 8, 10, or 12 miles per day. And they didn't do it for 3 years. They did it since they were 10 years old, 11 years old. When you sit there and you act like your 3 years of work are even close to equal to what these professionals are doing, breaking their bodies, getting punched in the face for a living. Logan quits doing this. He gets punched in the face and Floyd Mayweather knocks him out cold. He's done boxing. He goes back to YouTube, gets millions of views, makes millions of dollars a year, and his life is not affected in the least bit. In fact, him just being in the ring is a win for him. These guys out here lose, their lives are over, their livelihoods are over. They got to restart not only their career, their entire life. That's hard work. That's dedication. And now you all of a sudden deserve Floyd Mayweather, and these guys are salty. These guys are jealous because you're a newcomer. No, these guys are upset because they put their lives into something, and you got a free pass to the top. All because you saw some of this and the boxing game and decided I'll do this as a side gig while continuing to do the merch and the YouTube and the whole thing. You're a great businessman. I'll give you 2 thumbs up on that. There's another finger that could describe what I feel when you start talking about how fighters are salty because you got a free pass to the top and they had to work their entire lives for it. I think he's a good dude. It's so unfortunate to see somebody so blinded to what it is that they're getting themselves into and why people would be upset with it.
Just ignorance, not ignorance and not chosen ignorance, but just lack of knowledge on what you guys are actually doing and how much work you guys are actually putting into it. Like,
imagine Mike Majmalavalak and Logan Paul calling Canelo Alvarez and the boxing community ignorant of the work that Logan Paul and Jake Paul are putting into the boxing community. They're ignorant about hard work. They are. Not the guy that's equating 3 years of boxing training and 1 fight to people that fight their entire lives, then calling them salty, then saying that they're jealous, then saying that they wish they could be in his position. Of course they wish they could be in his position. Everyone does, except they put in the work. The work that you keep saying you put in, they actually put it in.
And by the way, when I'm saying these things, I really believe I can do it.
Fine with that too.
I'm not talking out of my ass, trying to get in his head, trying to sell a fight. No, bro.
We are trying to sell a fight.
Win.
right.
Regardless of what the outcome is, I'm going in with that mindset. And I think
There's nothing wrong with Logan going in with the mindset of winning the fight. Never said that. I'm all on board with him treating it respectfully, going into the fight, talking that shit to Floyd. I'm fine with all that. None of that matters to me. It's that the fight is even happening that matters to me. All right, so pretty much simply put, I think my opinions on this fight have been laid out in front of you guys. You can be the judge on what you think about this. Truly, I did not expect Logan to take the route of I feel disrespected by people saying that I haven't deserved to be in this spot because I put in the work. You put in the work for the time that you've been doing it, fair play, but you can't say that you've been putting the work in at the same level of these guys that have dedicated their entire lives to it, because without this, their careers, their livelihood is over. They have to restart their entire lives. Without this, you go back to YouTube and you kick back and make millions doing what you do. I respect the hustle. I'm fine with that. By saying people are being disrespectful to you, by saying you don't deserve it, is actually disrespectful to those people and the fighters that have put in the time. Logan is unfortunately blinded by this YouTube bubble that he lives in, and it's a big bubble. It is a big bubble. It's one of the biggest platforms, social media platforms on earth. But he's blinded by all the support from guys like KSI and the YouTube community. Matter of fact, it benefits me to cover this stuff, because if Logan wasn't fighting Floyd, I wouldn't have this fight to cover in the first place. I probably wouldn't be able to grow the channel as quickly. I get that. I'm not going to sit by the wayside and watch those people I consider the best in the world not have a voice to push back on this thing, because it's truly one of the things that will kill boxing. And fortunate enough for me, I'm more of an MMA fan, and boxing has already been deteriorating for a very, very long time because of the way it's run. There's a bigger discussion we can have there, but moving forward, these entertainer, actual athlete matchups, they're going to get someone hurt badly, or they're going to kill the sport of boxing. Whichever happens first, it's not going to be good. We're complicit in it, but Logan and Floyd, they've opened the floodgates. And whether you like it or not, this isn't the end of this. The show is just getting started.